Another one.
You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Littlebug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 214 of another Woodshop podcast, the podcast episode that almost didn't happen. Against all odds, we all actually made it here. You know, the baby is 2 days late, which means we're at DEF CON 1. Dan lost power yesterday in a huge storm and got it back an hour before we started the show. And Braden, well, Braden's just Braden. So all I have to say to you guys is the same line you're going to hear at a student dorm at BYU, the Mormon University. What's shaking, guys? what's going on?
Oh,
you guys getting into anything fun? Did you go soil your Quaker oats this weekend?
Nope.
These are all callbacks to the pre-show.
I don't understand.
I don't know where to go with these. I just don't.
Well, it's because they have a shaker for when you're our patrons.
Yeah, speaking of our patrons,
this is the first time I didn't have a crappy transition for Dan.
we got two new patrons this week, gentlemen. We got Scott Aquafina
Aquafina of the water
we also
family.
got Woodwork and Weld.
Hey, I know that guy.
Hey,
Do you know him, Weld?
I know him very well. We had a very long conversation.
Well, he joined the Met Army.
Yeah, he did.
He
Admiral
went to
level
patreon.com/another Woodshop podcast and got signed up over there. And he joined us in the VIP tier.
And he got the tier 4 DLC. He went straight to Admiral. He got the full armor after two months, and then all that fun stuff.
Really?
That's
He just went straight. He went straight to the AWP champagne room.
The champagne, the VIP.
Oh gosh. I'm sure that room smells lovely.
Are we supposed to clean it?
I'm having Bush Light burps.
Just a lot of Purell. Just
better than Bush Heavy burps. It actually smells like Bush Light burps in there.
Do they still make Bush Heavy? Is that a thing? I've never seen it.
Was it ever a thing?
That's just what they call. That's just what they call when you pour two Bush Lights into the same glass.
Bush Heavy.
Bush Heavy.
Okay. Speaking of our VIP patrons, as I mentioned, Woodwork and Weld has joined us. We have Jake Miller from A Sweet Shop, Alex Adams from Type A Furniture, John Herbolsheimer from Living Lath Woodworks, Luke Bosworth from LJB Makes, Jared LaPuma over at LL Builds Woodworking, Tyler Booth from Temecula Yard Games, Henry Lutens from Manfreda Wood, Scotty at Elevated Design Wood Co., Charlie Coons at Stubby K Studio, sorry Malcolm from Able Builds over at Matthew Abelman Builds, Justin at Fraser Canyon Woodworks, Sarah with Rosie's Woodshop, Jesse from Sage Hill Woodcraft. My mind almost blanked on that one. Michael at Gillette Woodworks, El Jefe from Maker's Way, Wim Designs, that is Victor over there. Bits and Nips, that's Nick Brim Woodworking. Thank you, Nick. Let's see here. We got creative and funny Patreon name at Reed Design Co.
I did ask for that. Literally for those words.
We literally asked for that. You get what you asked for. Matt Maynard at Patriotic Pines. Bill Burkle from WTB Woodworking, Jake Coneen at Dobby's Craft House, Justin Addy from Calvary Customs, Matthias Disabledeman, Patrick Ginsel. I don't think he got the Able Builds apology memo. Ed Mancini over at Mancini Woodworking, Chris at Chris Will Make. He upgraded his
my man.
Thank you, Chris. Scott Shirk at Red Lake Custom Woodworks. Max and Minnie Coons. B Twerking at Stubby K Studio. Justin Bailey from Campfire Woodworks. And Kyle from Four Dances Design Co. That is quite the list, gentlemen.
Wow, I feel like the list is getting longer.
It is. It
I
literally
love you
is.
guys.
It's definitely getting more distinguished.
It is. And I gotta say, it's just, I don't know why it came to my mind when you're reading the names, but Scott Shirk from Red Leg, only man I can watch sleeping on a Saturday night and not feel weird about it. Because he falls asleep on a stoop all the time. It's just something right about it. You watch him, he just falls asleep in a chair, CNC running, and we're just like, he's so cute. Leave him alone. Nobody talk too loud.
It's like having your toddler fall asleep in the back as you're driving home.
It's exactly like that.
It's exactly what it is.
He's my toddler at heart. I look up to him.
5 more minutes.
But
if we want to get Scott to sleep, we just put him on the stoop.
Yeah, put him on a stoop.
He's been crying all day. Put him on the stoop.
Talk about something something dumb, something he will talk about Star Wars.
Oh, he's cranky. Wait, no, he's just tired.
If you want to join the Mount Army, as I said before, you can go over to patreon.com/another woodshop podcast. We have a couple tiers over there that you can join up for. A 2, a 5, a 10, and a 20. Go check them out. They all have different benefits.
And a secret 50.
That's just you paying us $50 a month.
I cannot confirm nor deny these allegations.
Yes, there is a secret tier. Each tier above that is on a different site too. Like Only Dance. Membership?
Only Dance.
1.
If I can't believe I don't own onlydance.com.
Well, speaking of
come up.
Listen, speaking of a website that's more exclusive than even onlydance.com, that is so exclusive no one owns it. CNC with me. Our good friend Hamilton Dilbeck created this site for all makers. And I mean, Dan's been a founder member.
I'm a founder.
Founding
get it right.
member. Yeah, exactly. A founder member. Sorry, it's like the Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing. And he's been a founder member since the beginning. It's been a great part of the community. Hamilton's been working his butt off, making awesome files and CNC resources for everyone for years. And not only does he have the YouTube channel, but now he has a site, CNC with me. You can sign up for membership. There's discounts for yearly passes as well. And you're able to join this all-encompassing platform for CNC enthusiasts, whether you're trying to sell things, whether you're trying to just make fun projects, whether you just want to learn more. It's a great resource. There's forums available, a live Q&A that, this little secret, goes to Hamilton. He answers the question. And it's just a great resource to have if you're either trying to figure it out or trying to maybe think of new designs for your next craft fair that you're going to be doing, because you can get some awesome stuff. Everything gives you a commercial license, which means you can sell the products you make with those files. And if you ever have any questions about them, it's a great way to, hey guys, I'm having this problem, or I'm having this issue, or how would you do this? The community there will help you out. And if the community doesn't have the answers, the live support does. So make sure to go check them out at cncwithme.com and sign up today. And the other sponsor that we have is our dear friends, the Catskills Maker Camp. Yeah,
Camper Camp.
Camper Camp, our next big party that we're going to be getting together for. We're actually we're going to have like a house party over here, because we're getting more people joining the Maker Camp party. I think didn't Adrienne say that she can't wait for the year where Maker Camp's just a get together at my house? we don't even go to Maker Camp, but until then, we are all going to Maker Camp because it is the event of the year. We encourage everyone to go. We go there every single year. If you don't know what Maker Camp is, basically they put us at the Blackthorn Resort in the Catskill Mountains. Beautiful area, no cell service. It's great. No one can hear you scream. No one can hear you scream because you're having so much fun. Like, oh my God! Yeah, exactly. There is tents set up for all different activities, everything from a blacksmithing to old style printing presses. There's slabbing with chainsaws. There's CNCing. There's a plasma cutting and welding tent. It's where I learned welding, and Emma learned welding, and I'm still sour that she's better than me. And
wasn't there leather stitching last year?
there was leather stitching. I didn't get into the class. That one, honestly, get in there. Ethan taught the class, and every time people showed up like an hour ahead of time to sit down and save their seat because it was that worth it.
You can't sign up for the class. You just have to go sit in line.
You cannot
try to go save a spot.
Price on this type of awesomeness unless you associate it with the price of the event. But Dan, there's some ways that some people could save a lot of money on that, right? Like they wouldn't have to pay for the silver pass, which is amazing. It's the entire weekend, comes with a camp spot. What if I don't want to pay for that? What can I do, Dan?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because if you listen to the episodes that we do that are sponsored by Maker Camp, we always include a code phrase that you can send to us at awpgiveaway@gmail.com. You send us that code phrase, you get entered to win a silver ticket or silver pass ticket?
Silver pass ticket,
which
the
gets you
entire weekend,
the whole weekend, hands-on
with everything.
And I think that gets you a camp spot too.
You can touch Jimmy DiResta. You'll get in trouble, but you physically can.
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but
Jimmy's
there's always consequences.
The things like the law.
I heard a silver pass to Maker Camp is like a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's, but with fewer schnozberries and less kids getting like maimed and murdered.
You
Also
will get a
chocolate.
beer from one of us at
But
the
lots of Uncle
event.
Joe. Lots of Uncle Joe.
Listen, Uncle Joe
Or Grandpa
suddenly
Joe. Grandpa
for a
Joe.
Grandpa Joe suddenly for a guy that didn't walk for like 15 years and couldn't work to help get them like out of poverty. Real spry, real skipping his step when suddenly chocolate and a little trip was involved. But
Right?
I don't know.
I got problems with Grandpa Joe.
But Maker Camp puts a little skip in my step.
Sounds like Social Security fraud to me. But you know what isn't Social Security fraud? Winning one of two tickets to
That's
Maker
right.
Camp.
We're giving away two tickets.
Do they have
Yes.
Social Security in Britain?
I'm sure they did.
I don't know.
I don't know. These are questions I'm not
Like the Queen's
authorized to
security.
so listen to this whole episode. We're going to drop a code phrase. You're going to send it to us at that email I said before, awpgiveaway@gmail.com. You will get entered. I think we're drawing the ticket winners soon.
End of this month, aren't we?
End of this month, end of August.
this month,
That's the month we're in because it's
Oh
the
my
first.
lord, we're in August.
Also, how is it August?
Right?
How is it
Also-
Thursday in August?
Maker Camp just released their early bird pricing deadline. And was that on the website, Pete? I know I'm throwing you under the bus here.
You are, and I'm definitely ready to answer, and I will at the end of this statement when I am finished speaking. So, I got nothing. I'm,
I
like,
thought you had
pulling
the
it up.
website up there.
All I know is that the daily pass is $25, and well, that's the hands off. So if you want to show up, you're like, what's this thing about? I'm in the area. You know what? I'll drive over. I'm within 5 hours, which is day driving distance. Do it. But then you have, so that's 2503. And that gets you the spectator pass you can watch. But the best part is most of the fun of Maker Camp is just being there and hanging out with all your friends and other makers. Then you have the Maker Day Pass, which is $99.95. That's per day. And that is an entire hands-on everything. You get the full event. Then you've got the early bird silver. Dan, you were right. It's $290.10. That covers the whole weekend. And if you don't get it in time, it's going to be going up $50, $347.72. Sorry, these are very exact
It
numbers.
doesn't just cover the camp itself or the conference, but it also gets you a camp spot. And I think that gets you a meal ticket for the barbecue at the end of the week.
I'm not 1,000% sure about
like
the
gold
barbecue.
pass.
The gold pass might be the barbecue ticket, but you can buy a barbecue ticket. It's worth it. The Sunday barbecue, it's lit. It's almost as good as the barbecue I had at my house.
The silver pass does come with a friendship ticket, though.
It does, yeah. Free friendships, yeah.
Unlimited,
Or
unlimited
not
free
free,
friendships,
included in the cost. Friendship tickets.
Well,
free refills.
I think
Guys,
we've sold this.
This is one that, like, this is just an easy sell. We could be selling this the entire episode. We do love Maker Camp. We're going there this year. It's super exciting. It's one of two, maybe three times a year that we all actually get together. So highly recommend it. It's great. There's karaoke. The drinks are the size of total boat quart epoxy cups. And if you don't know what that looks like, anytime you've ordered like Chinese takeout and they give you soup and it's in that big cup, that's it. That's how big the rum and cokes are. So if you
I
like
mean,
have a little fun,
they were that size last year. We don't know if they're going to be this size.
Oh, no,
the
fair
same
enough.
size this year, but
I'm assuming they also had funnel cake fry things one year.
yeah.
That was awesome.
Ooh,
Ah. It's just a good
right.
old time. So make sure to lock down a spot. I think the hotels are full. They have offsite cabins still available. They might have some yurts available. And of course, there's some Airbnbs.
They got camping spots still.
They
Lots
do.
of camping
They always have
spots.
camping spots. They
that
never
just
run out of
means that
those.
you got to bring your own tent or RV.
Or actually, on their site, they do have the RV rentals available. Just go to their site, scroll all the way to the bottom. You got a spot right there.
Well,
There's
there
like
you go.
three things.
So many
Boom!
options.
And if you want to up,
many
if
options.
you want to up your chances by entering with the secret code phrase, just DM me and I will send you Dan's personal cell phone number.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's the code phrase
will
is
not.
Dan's cell number. Come on, Dan. You don't want people to save money by badgering you until you pay?
I want people to save money by going to Menards and saving 11%. That's
What about
that's how I want
JG
people.
Wentworth? What did
It's-
he ever do wrong to you?
It's my money and I want it now.
I have a lump settlement, but I need cash now.
JG Wentworth.
Didn't know what the hell you guys were talking about until
you-
Braden said that.
Oh, you didn't know? Oh, it's a song.
What
And
the
then
hell?
lady with the horn hat.
I get it now. I get it now. Yeah.
If
Okay.
you have a structured settlement and you need cash
Cash.
now, call JG
Oh,
Wentworth.
Wentworth. We have to do it together.
Oh,
We should have queued it up.
fantastic.
Ah,
They're,
next time.
are we going to send them a bill now because we just did their
I'm gonna
ad
see if I
read?
can get that for next week. We'll do JG
Officially
Wentworth theme.
This
Well-
week, AWP sponsored by JG Wentworth, Loan
Well,
Sharking.
Speaking of JG Wentworth, guys,
Ooh.
ready?
Good news, everyone!
Oh.
We have
Oh,
some maker news. Who wants to talk about it?
We sort of do.
Yeah.
I've got
Um,
I got a little something something.
Oh,
I'm just going to throw this out here real
Dan,
fast
go.
because I haven't watched it yet. I've been offline.
all right.
for
Which John Malecki
more-
video is it now?
Not John Malecki. actually.
You're obsessed.
Not John Malecki. Cam from Blacktail Studio released a
Malecki?
video today.
Oh,
Cam from Blacktail Studios released a video today. He titled it "Misusing Tools in Slow Motion," and just the little preview clip on YouTube. It looks like a banger, and I can't wait to watch it.
He throws a plugged-in circular saw just at the slab.
That is not too far from being
wait.
accurate.
So you didn't even watch the video? You just
No, I'm just looking at the
You saw the thumbnail,
the thumbnail.
and he's already calling banger.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
You know when you go to YouTube on your actual computer and you hover the mouse over the clip and it plays like the
Oh.
first 30-second intro.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
That's what I
it's
watch.
Great GIF.
Oh,
Great
the
joke.
Clifford notes.
Yes.
So
So
I can just tell from his preview that he just copied Morgan Hop.
ouch. Okay. This is awkward.
I'm starting fights.
Anyways, that's all I got for Maker News.
The basketball. Ooh, I like that though. I'm actually curious about this. Also, this isn't like maker news because there's not like an official video on this, but I got to give a shout out to my boy Lee Ohman, who just banged out that giant table for Brunt.
To be fair,
and
he didn't just bang it out. I think he's been working on it for a couple weeks.
he's been banging it for
He's
a while.
been banging it
Yeah.
for weeks.
Or at least
He's
he's
been
been
soaking.
on the
He's been
table
soaking
and
that
someone's been
table.
shaking it. Like he did a bang up job on that. And Brunt just went into their third warehouse, and they're a young company. I'll give them a shout out for that. They're kicking butt, and Lee just out of this world with that table. It's got LED lights in it.
It's like a
and-
12-foot conference table. It's a
yeah,
big boy.
it's a big boy with it's India inked, and I forget he used some kind of the Rubio.
Intense
some
black?
kind of no. So I think it was intense black. It wasn't India ink, but then he used something about like a sheen add-on that
Oh,
you
Rubio Duo Coat.
the
next
duo.
step
I
up.
call it duo code anyways because I always do too. But no, there's like a sheen that you just add on top, and it looked just so good. So good job, Lee.
It looked great.
Yeah, and then I think Luke from Man Made built the base or helped. Get
Yeah,
base
and the
together.
base is dope too. I mean, did you
Yeah.
see the base? It's got
More
Uh,
logos.
plasma cut Brunt logos integrated into the base. It's really
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, and they're not liquid coated; it's powder
Mm.
coated. Yeah,
It's like
that's
like
crazy.
powdered sugar.
yeah,
You
yeah.
could lick them.
Yeah,
Stick
basically
'em.
the same thing. You could totally lick them.
Lick them,
Yeah,
pop them,
you
flick
can
them.
lick them like the walls in Willy Wonka's factory. The schnozberries.
schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
The Brunt berries tastes like Brunt berries. Braden, what do you got? You had some maker news?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a scandal in the maker community. Yeah, I haven't this is not the maker news we talked about before, but I just remember this.
Is
we're gonna
Timu
go-
sleeping with Shan, whatever, and then they had a baby?
Sheen.
No,
Sheen, sorry, I said it
but
wrong.
Thomas from Thomas Custom Woodworks he's sleeping with somebody.
Oh,
Yeah,
does his wife know?
probably his wife, but you know,
Is there more to his?
she's probably
Is
aware.
that
of it.
it?
That's it. That's the scandal.
I heard he
and then-
sleeps a full night. Gross. 8 hours plus. Gross.
Just wakes up well rested.
Well rested. Get out of here. I don't need any of that.
But we will update you as this scandal develops.
Develops more at 11. When do we turn into news anchors? F you, San Diego.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Wait, is there an actual like story here?
No, that's it. No, he hit me
Oh.
up, and I love when we have listeners that like you can tell that they listen consistently because there's always some follow up. And he messaged me and he's like, my favorite segment is Maker News. I think it's great. I think you guys should just start randomly starting drama. Like you should just make up maker scandals. Like, and then he gave me that example of like I was sleeping with somebody and then it was my wife, and you know, it's a non-starter, but just
I
start
love it.
making stuff up. And I was
That
like,
is
we can do
is
that.
so much better than when people message me and say, "Hey, have you seen this? Have you heard about this?" And they drop me a CNC with me link, and I'm like, "Bro, tell me you don't
do you know
listen to
who
my
I am?
podcast without telling me you don't listen to my podcast."
I just put into Maker News. I just said Thomas Custom Woodworks. He's sleeping a full 8 hours. Wakes up well rested. Gross. That's my notes. Who do you think you are sleeping a
love it.
full night?
Can we talk about this in Maker News real fast? Did you
What is
guys see that the Jointery
Never heard of it.
podcast, quote unquote,
Audio
Uh,
experience.
That's not even news. I
They
already know
had
it's not
on-
gonna be news.
they had on Kamani?
Who?
Dead to me.
Who?
Yeah,
Is that IT guy?
that's that. Yeah, that's that guy that does IT content. Yeah,
I could have sworn he passed away yesterday. Whenever I found out, so he's dead to me. Yeah.
Weird.
So,
Okay.
well, it's wow. Yeah. You know you're in IT when you're dead to me.
Speaking of IT, also in Maker News, Brad Rodriguez from
I'm trying to
Fix
get that
This,
out.
Build That.
You guys stall it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's that?
I've been trying to get that out, but you guys kept
Yeah,
coming up with new fake news.
We're
No, this is legit
This
alternative
is
fact
legit.
Yeah, this is legit.
Yeah, this is actual stuff. We are back on track. Brad Rodriguez from Fix This Build That. He just put out that he is hiring a full-time person. He's looking for a production assistant
On
that's
site.
site, 35 to 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday. I think that there's probably dental. I don't know.
$300,000 a year.
Can
Crazy.
I do it
300
remotely?
to $400,000.
Can I do this
a year.
on-site job remotely?
I think you can. He probably can fix and or build a robot that you can control on site. The problem is one of the job responsibilities, it was a lot of like video content and shooting video and creating the content and organizing digital files. And then randomly at the end, like obtaining supplies for builds. It's like, okay, you're going to be our soft, delicate keyboard handed employee until I need you to go get $30,000 in 2x4s and then
He's
figure
looking
it
for
out
a
with your-
woodworker in IT. That's basically what it is. Listen, I call that a Craig.
It's too bad Kamani passed
Like
away
a
because
Craig
he is
jig?
a IT
No,
guy animator.
Because Jason Hibbs, Bourbon Moth, has had
Oh,
Craig. Yeah. So Craig. Yeah, not Craig like the jig. I said Craig like
Yeah,
Craig.
you got to enunciate the
Craig.
the
Yeah,
AI.
like- We jokingly say that I am Keith's Craig. Craig. When he needs help, I go over there and
Craig.
help out. And then
Craig.
Dan, like Braden and Nick are your Craigs.
They're not though. They're not.
I know, because you don't pay
They're
them.
not even close.
But There's that whole thing where you don't pay them, but also they are your Craigs.
The
Yeah,
crackle.
The crackle. Honestly, here's the thing. If I lived within 30 minutes of Brad, we would be talking. I would be like,
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
this is a great to learn from the great Brad Rodriguez and work with him and make a decent salary while being in the industry. I wouldn't hate that, honestly. You know? So
Yeah.
just
where's he at? He's in Nashville, yeah.
10 icy. He's the only 10 icy.
So
from Tennessee.
he's in Pete land? In
Pete-
Pete land.
Peatland.
I started that.
Are you from Mississippi? Because you're the only Miss Ippy.
The
Lady.
only Miss IP.
That's been my pickup
Dang
line
it.
forever. It landed Emma. I'm telling
Oh,
you. it
God.
works.
So
'Cause
it's
you
gonna
look
work a
silly
second
and they
time?
laugh like, oh, he's dumb, but he's cute. And then you're in. You're in.
And
Before you
boom,
know
she's
it,
pregnant.
before you know it, Braden's shaking the bed. All right.
Hashtag jump and pump.
Okay, legit
No.
though, I think Brad Rodriguez is in the Nashville area.
He is.
so-
He's 100% in that area.
okay.
If
I
you're
think he
interested in a
prefers-
job, go check it out.
I think he does prefer Bradley though. So if any of you
No.
interview
No.
Bradley
want-
Rodriguez,
I don't want,
Professor Bradley Rodriguez, I'm here for the open position.
dude. I don't want that Nashville fried chicken or Nashville hot chicken on my hands. No.
oh wait, hold on. We get hot chicken.
Dude, it's the best thing ever. Nashville hot chicken's the best
That's
way to eat chicken.
incorrect. It's not even the best chicken that I know of. The best chicken, Dan and I found
Tell
it.
him. Tell him.
We
Oh, is that
drunkenly stumbled.
biscuits and porn?
No,
No.
that's Malcolm's biscuits and or pornography. No, there's a joint here in town.
This is a
called
real place, by the
Dirty
way, people.
Birds. This is a real place.
Oh,
It's
I've
called
heard about
Dirty
this.
Birds.
Dirty Birds.
It's
Wait, this isn't.
fantastic.
This is not the raccoon one, right?
No, that is the
no.
Alpine
Okay.
Inn, which is also pretty good. But you have to be comfortable living in a world where you stare at raccoons eating chicken bones
Wait.
in the woods while you eat your food.
Okay, like first describe Dirty Birds, then I want you to describe to our new listeners what that one is.
Okay,
Dirty
so
Birds, best fried chicken on the planet.
Dirty Birds
Fight
is
Is
phenomenal.
it the sauce or is it
It's
the chicken?
No
It's just
sauce.
the chicken.
So
It
it's
is
not
just-
Cane's.
Mm-mm.
It's not.
This
game.
is there is no sauce.
As a matter of
if
fact-
I see you put sauce on this, smacking it in your mouth.
As a matter of fact, when I go have lunch with my friend that works at Raising Cane's, John Herbolsheimer, VIP patron,
Oh yeah.
we go to Dirty Birds.
I
Really?
remember when Dan used to invite me to Dirty Birds.
I haven't been there. I haven't been there in a couple
Oh, he
months.
made excuses now. Hear that?
Yeah, here we
Yeah.
go. Haven't been there, but yeah, it is phenomenal. They have, I mean, they've got they've done chicken and waffles. They've done, I mean, their menu is phenomenal. But it's downtown. Dan and I found this joint. This is when Dan and I's romance was blooming. We went to
You're past
Braden
the
took me on a
honeymoon
date.
stage.
Braden
What's
took
that?
You're
me on a
going.
date.
You're
Yeah,
past
we-
the honeymoon stage. You're just going to Taco Bell at 3 a.m. now.
we went to, somehow I ended up with a couple of tickets to
Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer, and
Yeah.
my wife is not interested in Bert Kreischer. And
Fun
so I was
fact,
like,
that show that we went to, that's the
Netflix special.
one that they recorded for the Netflix special. The
so when
latest one he did.
you hear in the back, ha ha, it's Dan and I. But yeah, we finished that up, and the deal as they usually are. I got the tickets and the parking, and Dan got the drinks at the show, and so we had some drinks, and then we started heading back towards. We were. We let those simmer, and then we started heading back. After the show, trying to get home and all that, and we realized that we had to piss, like racehorse level pee. And so we just wandered into some doorway, and it was Dirty Birds. And so we used the restroom, and then we're like,
Smells like fried chicken in here. Let's go.
I could eat. Could you eat? You got it? You got some time? And so we got some chicken, and they have wooden tables, so we did the maker thing.
under
Sorry, this
table
looks weird
run.
if I'm like this.
Why do we
did the
leave?
thing.
Also, finish the bottom of that table. Go
No,
on
we
ahead.
didn't. That's a lie. That's fake
This whole
news.
video. I had Nick Pachi check.
It's totally sanded to 60 grit, and that's it. But yeah, so we did that, found this place, and it is just haunted my
Okay,
dream sense.
Listen, enough about dirty birds. This is not the one that people are here for. They want to know about the Raccoon restaurant that actually has raccoons eat the leftover bits. Can you please talk about that? Because the most insane thing about Omaha, and I've been to the one and only Italian joint that they have.
It's gone. That's gone.
I know.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. What was? Why did I blank on her name?
Ethnic sandwiches.
Ethnic sandwiches. Thank you. When you're here, you're family. But please tell me about the raccoons.
The Alpine Inn in Omaha. I think it's in. I think it's more North Omaha, but it's a place that's famous for their fried chicken. It's mediocre chicken at best. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not terrible.
Raising Cane's chicken.
I wouldn't say that. It's better than that. But anyways, the draw of this place is when you go there and eat your fried chicken on the patio, you can just throw the bones over the railing, and there are these raccoons that just can't come up and like feed on all the chicken remnants,
the carcasses.
And that's the draw to this place. People love it.
So do you eat by like? What if you have a booth inside the restaurant? Do you walk up to a window and toss it?
No,
toss it for you.
Here's the thing. If you're eating inside, you can't chuck them yourself. Don't worry. They collect them all and they just.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
they pour them out
transparency here. I've never been there. I've only.
Can we go next time I go?
We are
just
definitely
for the novelty. I cannot wait to get food poisoning. It's gonna be amazing.
It's not fried chicken. It's braised chicken, and it's really good chicken. But again, you have to be fine with possibly getting rabies.
That's the part that I'm on. I don't know.
And to clarify, it's also not just raccoons. There's also a collection of feral cats.
Oh,
so it's cats and raccoons. So
cool.
Cats and rats.
Yeah, and if you think we're crazy, you can look this up. Just Google Alpine in Omaha.
I remember just looking at the Yelp video or Yelp photos and videos.
It's legit,
and it paints a picture. Oh, it Picasso'd that into my brain.
Pete, next time you're in town, we'll go there.
And then you know what? Next time you guys come over, we'll go to the bear den.
I can't wait.
They just got it.
Do they serve bear and you throw those to the hookers? Or
I don't.
What is
bare bones? By the way, so recently we see a ton of trailers outside that place, like almost looks like renovation or movie shoot trailers, tents, everything. Apparently, they were shooting a movie, and that's the place they chose. But they literally paid for the renovation of the place so that they can shoot the movie in it, and then the owners got to keep the renovated place to continue. So the name actually changed from the Bear Den to something else, and it's going to change back to the Bear Den.
Do we have any idea what movie this was, so we can all put it on
I don't know, but I will 100% find out for you guys. We will.
Yeah, we have to know.
It's probably the Bear, that chef movie.
By the way, it's not bear as the animal. It's bear like skin, bear skin, like Bear Den.
Well, that changes everything.
Yeah, it also took me way too long to figure that out. We were living here for a year, driving past that place, also coming past the place. But anytime we would go to the lake and we'd pass it and be like, a strip club named Bear Den. And then one day it just clicked. I was like, oh, like bear skin. And Emma looks at me and goes, are you effing kidding me? It took you this long to realize. I'm like, well, I'm usually driving. I'm sorry.
No, you can lean on the excuse you always have. Well, English is my third language, so
yeah, or in Polish. I'm sorry.
Blah, 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 blah.
I do want to throw out there. Alpine Inn has 1.4 thousand reviews, and it's got a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Listen, that's a banger of a spot if they've got that many good reviews.
It is cash only. It is a dive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a dive where they're fine with raccoons. So
you're not going here for the chandeliers.
So wait, I have to ask though: are the raccoons in an enclosure, or they're just?
They're
These
wild.
are loose.
What
wild
stops them from coming into the actual place?
I don't like calling them loose.
What stops
Promiscuous raccoons?
What stops them from just coming in and getting the chicken themselves? Just the constant stream of chicken. The second the burnt offerings stop, they will
attack
that restaurant.
All right, so you want to go at rush hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, you do not want to go after a 3-day weekend where they've been closed the whole time or something like that. These are, I mean, heck, here, Facebook review, Alpine Inn, quote, home of the wildlife.
Oh my
Home
god.
of the
Well,
wildlife.
Omaha. Every time we talk about Omaha having the best zoo in the country, we're actually talking about the Alpine Inn. We're not
Alpine
talking
Inn.
about Henry Dorley.
all right. So just to come back full circle. Anyways, Brad Rodriguez is hiring a production
Or
assistant.
we're still talking fingers.
You guys, this is why we have 2-hour podcasts.
Go apply.
I totally
on.
forgot about that.
No, we went off the topic a while ago. I wanted to whip it back.
My power could go out at any moment. Come
All
on.
right. Well, listen, speaking of rabies and fried chicken,
What's on my bench?
Braden, why don't you tell me what's on your bench, my guy?
Oh my lord. I am working on the same things that I've been working on the last 2 weeks. I'm prepping all of this car themed stuff for that car show. That was gonna be hard. For this car show. I worked out a couple of templates for like road signs, like street signs or street name signs, that are kind of funny, I think, and kind of, cute. So I've got, let's see, 4-wheel drive, like it's a street, it's a drive, and it says
Oh, I
4-wheel. Yeah. So I'm carving those, CNCing those out of like every piece of scrap that I've got, pouring epoxy and then drum sanding them, and then, throwing some, little, keyhole inserts in and calling it good. So far, I've actually gotten some really good feedback from those. I think I'm going to sell a decent number of those. I just did a couple for Corvettes, so I put the Corvette logo, and I made the street Sunday Drive. So I think that'll be kind of clever. I'm still waiting for corporate approval on the next big laser job. Corporate approval, like the whole corporate approval process, just exhausts me because nothing moves. And you're waiting for people to like sign off on things that that they want. Just do it. Just start.
It exhausts me just thinking about it.
Yeah. So
I'm not
just
even in
wait.
your shoes.
I'm in a holding pattern on that. And then I'm just working on some other some other furniture pieces for myself, some dog bowl pieces. I still need to work on that that media console. So while I'm waiting for corporate approval for a bunch of laser stuff, now the woodworking I'm going to be doing this weekend, though, is I have a whole weekend of chopping tree branches off of our trees, because we got Dan and Dan's going to go into this more with his
keep bragging
no power
about
thing.
it.
We got wrecked this
Decimated.
week. Yeah, we got just smacked around yesterday. We were called names. Like, it was just schoolyard bully stuff by Mother Nature.
He's got bullied by the sky.
We had 100-mile-per-hour winds. Aretha and we actually came out okay. We had some pretty big branches that are like literally just snapped and peeled off of our tree. But when we drive around our neighborhood, and we've got some friends that sent us pictures, there are entire trees that are horizontal now. Like, no branches ripped off. Like, literally the tree just is now this way. There are some that are torn, like every branch is torn off down to there's just a trunk sitting out of the ground. I mean, we got wrecked. So I'm going to be cleaning up the yard after that. And that's kind of my bench. It's kind of a light week for me. So, and then we did something last week, but I'm going to let Dan talk about that.
Well, but you also
Oh, God.
you did get slightly older.
Yeah, that's what he was referring to.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Happy birthday.
Last Wednesday?
Yeah.
Last Wednesday was my birthday.
Well, it didn't really happen till the party. But Dan, tell us about
That's
your
true.
week.
We
and
had
your
a party.
weekend and your party, whatever.
Let me
you
start
remember.
with Braden's party first of all. It was fantastic. So I don't know how many people Braden invited over, but this
Not
madman,
me.
there were
No, that's a lie. I'm sorry, Pete. I specifically invited you because you never invite Dan.
Oh,
and I to
yes,
stuff.
he did.
And I made sure.
we have the records. You were
Yeah,
invited.
I invited.
I
you
did
in
not get
front of
my
God and
flight
everybody.
information or anything.
You chose not to attend. You were invited.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So anyways, went over to Braden's on Saturday, and it was gonna be just a nice loosey-goosey time with my buddies, Braden, Nick, Braden's friend Chris, who I would like to say is my friend now as well. I hope. Don't shoot me, Chris.
Sorry, bud. You're stuck with him now.
And then I think Brain's parents were there and your brother. And I mean, there was like, I don't know, 12, 15 people there.
Yeah, probably like that. I'm not great at math.
Yes. And that's exactly what I'm getting to. Braden is not great at math. For 15 people, he smoked 6 racks of ribs, 10 pounds of chicken wings.
That's it.
it was overkill, but anyways, it was still fantastic. All the food was great. So later on in the evening, we decided we were going to go play beer pong, and me being me, I was like, hey Braden, I noticed you got some Maker's Mark behind the bar. May I have some? And do you have Coca-Cola? And so I switched from Busch Light to drinking that, and I probably drank way too much of his Maker's Mark. I don't know how much I had, but I had quite a bit. Basically, the night ended with me, Braden, and Nick around a fire in his backyard, and me like passed out in a lawn chair.
Isn't that the best though? Like a fire pit end of the night.
Yeah. I think I woke up abruptly and was like, I need to get an Uber home. And Nick goes, I'll just take you home. So
Dan hit
basically
the wall.
all I remember.
Dan hit the wall and he's like, all right, I'm ready to be home now. I'm ready to be home right now.
Yes. I don't know what time that was. What time was that? Like midnight?
It was like 11:30.
It was probably pretty early.
Yeah, it was not late. I was exhausted. Like, we do not party the way that we used to. We hit like 11:30, like, God, closing it down, boys.
Yeah. Anyway, that was fun. Thank you for inviting me over. I had a good time. Thank you for letting me drink your Maker's Mark. Yeah, as Braden said, we did have a storm roll through last night. Before I get to what's actually on my bench. So we had a storm roll through last night. The winds got up to 100 miles an hour. It took down a lot of trees and stuff. I was without power for 25 plus hours. And I thought that we were going to have to do the pre-show by me going over to Braden's house because, we are in the same city. And I was literally getting ready to go take a shower, and I noticed my phone was nearly dead. And without having power, I was like, oh, crap. I'm going to have to drive down the street and charge it in my truck for a little while, because in my house, none of my bathrooms have like a skylight. So they're like pitch dark in there. So I needed some battery in my phone to go take a shower so I could have some sort of light so I could just like shine the light up. And
you don't have like flashlights and light bulbs?
No, I realized this. The
tell me you're not a prepper by telling me you're not a prepper.
Battery powered light I have in this house is my phone.
No, Dan, you have a bunch of Milwaukee drills that you could just keep pressing every 10 seconds to keep the light going.
Why didn't I think of that?
Or just be like, I'm going to take a shower, John. You just keep pressing this light every 10 seconds.
No, my wife is a great mother. She kept the kids occupied, and I stayed and held down the fort. So she had them doing stuff. They were constantly occupied. So if they weren't, my kids would have just sat around here and be like, oh, God, this is a terrible one. So
yeah,
kudos to my wife. Thank you very much.
I do have to say, Dan, I want to pause you for a second because there's something that's made it. So I live in an area that we lose power multiple times a year. I have a generator for a reason. And one of the biggest godsends has been these like aftermarket DeWalt battery lights that are like spotlights and they use no power.
I will be getting those.
Get the Milwaukee ones. Get one or two. I had one on high on the regular like 4 milliamp battery for like 4 or 5 hours on high. And no, like the battery still had life in it.
So
highly recommend.
Not only am I going to get some sort of Milwaukee light, but I'm also going to get that little adapter that you can hook to a battery and then like charge your phone into it.
So that's the best part. This one has USB ports on it.
So I'm getting
you can do both. It's a 2-in-1. It's a light and it has USB ports.
Getting it.
The best, the goodest.
Sold me. I'm getting it.
Influence.
Use code AWP for, I'm assuming it's additional costs.
So it's like 7:00. We do the pre-show at 8 p.m. I drive down to the parking lot so I can charge my phone a little bit so I have some battery to take a shower. And I'm there. I'm checking my email. I'm checking Instagram because I also can't get a regular cell signal at my house. So when there's no internet, like we are like the Amish here. There's nothing. You can't get any sort of cell signal. So I'm down there for like maybe 15, 20 minutes. And I come up here home and I walk in the door and I look to my left and I look down in the basement and the lights on and I'm like, double take. Yes. I got
Rejoice.
we got power at the last moment. So we were able to do the pre-show properly, and now we're actually recording the podcast. We weren't even going to record the podcast this week.
Oh, we're gonna skip this week. Like we got to the point we're just gonna do it live, like ghetto live, and then
I was just gonna go to
figure it
Braden's
out.
house to do it live. I was gonna try to take a quick shower because I didn't want Braden to smell me. I was trying
Dan
to
was
be,
one inconvenience away from doing it on his phone at home in the dark.
oh my god. Anyways, so that sucks. Shout out to all those people in Omaha that still don't have power. There's still a few people. But apparently, like
They're not watching this.
Almost, they're not. That's me. Apparently, there was like 250,000 people without power here in Omaha, which is the largest power outage event Omaha has ever.
You sent that one article that was like, the company said it could be up to 8 days.
I know. I was starting to think that I was one of those 8-dayers. I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be awful.
It was like I don't know about you guys. It was 90 something. This whole week's 90s.
It was 95 yesterday, and today it was 92 tops.
Jesus.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're all good now.
Well, it is here.
Well, it is here technically. Okay, sorry. If you want to be technical, actually, I have been kicking ass in the shop. I was making super good progress in headway. I have been working out there 12 hours a day until yesterday and today. I made a ton of tables and I needed to unclamp them and start sanding them and putting finish on them when everything like busted and I couldn't use any electricity. So I'm super happy with the progress I've been making. And if any of my customers from Etsy are listening to this, I promise you, your stuff is coming.
How bad was the impact for you? Like,
well, I've gotten several messages on Etsy wondering where their stuff is, but that can't be like
that could just be any day, right?
That could be any day. I mean, all these people are like, "Hey, my stuff. Where's my stuff?" It's like six or 7 days late. Like,
so I gotta say, you must have taken the opportunity. So you definitely like took the opportunity since like you couldn't work on the shop. You opened up the doors, you swept, you like cleaned out the dust collector, right? Like you did a bunch of stuff like that, or you just swept up a little bit, or like what did you put away some tools? Like how did you make the best of the day?
Why are you coming after me? Why are you doing this?
What's up? No, Dan needed a day off.
You the right.
Dan took a day off. Dan had a hot day, had a cooler with cold beer, and that's all that matters. Honestly, sometimes
I had what Braden say. I had a cold shower and warm beer. It was great.
Dude, I totally
I'll tell you what I did do. I burnt scraps and I went through my yard and I picked up all the branches and stuff and burned what I could. So I did that. Okay, I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
You don't have anything going on, but do you want to talk about it?
Oh, me? That's it for your bench? You just went to a birthday party and then you had a power outage?
That's it.
Oh,
that's my life.
He also hammered brad nails into chunks of cedar at my house.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
that
is one thing. Just my party from my perspective. So obviously we had a couple friend of ours that were here, good friends of mine, but he is in the IT world. He's not a maker, so he didn't like immediately mesh with Dan and Nick and the chuckleheads that I hang out with every day. So I'm in there talking to them, being a good host, and then I come outside
into his shop.
Yeah, into my shop. I come into the shop where I have left Dan, Nick, and Chris unsupervised.
I'm sorry, I just heard Dan naked, Chris.
Yes, I heard Dan was naked, and
Dan
Chris
was naked,
there.
and also Chris was there.
And let me tell you about the brim. But I open the door, to them, they have taken all of the CNC parts that I need to ship back to 150. They've moved them off of a like portable workbench that I have. And I walk out to them surrounding a piece of cedar that's actually like 6 cedar fence pickets that they've attached together.
We needed a stump.
They needed a stump. And I walk out to Nick with a panicked look in his eye and my battery-powered Milwaukee brad nailer spinning in the air out of his hand. And then he catches it and slams it down on the stump.
We were playing Brad Nailer Hammerschlag.
Wait. You were playing Brad Nailer Hammerschlagen instead of a hammer that you... If you don't know what Hammerschlagen is, I learned about this game. It's a beautiful game. It's the best game. I have some stumps that are set aside just for this game. You take a 16 penny nail, you tap it in a little bit, just stays there, and then you flip a nail, and then, you flip a hammer, you catch it, however you catch it. It could be oblong, doesn't matter. You have to try to smack down someone else's nail down. How the F did you play that with a brad nailer, a battery-powered one?
You throw out the brad nailer and spin it and catch it and quickly brad nail. You take off the safety so that when you hit it...
You take off the safety. Okay. All right.
So this is what I walk out to. And then I find out they've been playing the game with brad nails and a hammer.
Oh, yeah. We decided that throwing the brad nailer is probably a bad idea. So we took the brad nail cartridge out of the brad nailer and started breaking them off one by one and playing
Instead of
hammer
just
slogging
asking
with
me for the nails.
At that point, you should have just like put a nail in and then just you flip the brad nailer and like you hammer it in with a battery. You know, like we've all done it. We've all done. We have to like tap in the last. Oh, this brad nail's a little high. Bump, bump, bump with the battery. We've all done it.
Well, let me tell you, brad nails do not have the structural integrity for Hammerschlagen.
Of a 16 penny nail? Yeah, I wonder why.
They just don't. So we basically just whacked pieces of cedar together on a not super sturdy plastic portable workbench.
So what you should take from this, take from this right now is Braden came out there and he didn't say, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? Put my tools down." He's like,
"Give me that.
Let me get in on that.
let me just go grab the real nails." The funny part is I saw the brad nailer in the air. I didn't even see the block of cedar that they'd created. I see it in the air and the look on Nick's face. I immediately knew what they were playing. I knew exactly what they were playing.
It was fun. I forgot all about that. Thank you for reminding me.
But anyway.
20 volt Hammerschlagen. Also, I would love to see that with like a actual like air gun, like a hair brad nailer.
Oh, man.
Would have been difficult. The hose is just spinning around.
Oh God, I'm wrapped up.
Oh, this is awful. Oh my God.
So anyway, Pete, what's on your bench?
Oh, nothing.
By the way, Brad Rodriguez is hiring help.
Brad Nail Rodriguez is hiring help. Speaking of Brad nails, he makes some really nice nails. He's also hiring help. Man, first of all, I took out my chainsaw for a spin. First tree I went to cut down. Oh, guys, immediately got it stuck. So I got the cut, and then I was cutting through it. I was just trying to like nip it a little bit, nick brim it a little bit, cut at a time. And I'm like, all right, let me try to clean it up here, clean it up here. It wasn't a big tree, but then like at some point, it just pinched not on the bar, it pinched on a chain. And I'm like, all right, this is literally...
You need some wedges, man.
Well, like I got a neighbor with another chainsaw. I also have 2 other chainsaws. So we got it out. It was pretty quick. But then I just did some really nice work cleaning up the trail going down below in my lower property. And that thing is a beast. It chopped up the logs in my driveway finally. So all the logs that I got like last year from my neighbors when they took down like...
I remember that. They just like pulled into your driveway.
Just dropped them on logs. I was like, hey, can I have like 5 or 6? They're like, yeah. And they dropped 20. The full truckload. So I finally, and honestly, this is one of those examples of like buy once, cry once. I bought the DeWalt electric one. I'm like, oh, for all the quick little jobs around the property, this would be great. And it's a great chainsaw. It can't keep up with like multiple cuts. You're gonna just eat through batteries. I had a little Ryobi chainsaw. It's fine, but it's so underpowered. You get what you pay for under $200. And then I got this thing. It was $500 or 5 and change.
What was it? A steel?
It's a still 291 is the model. It's a 55.5 cc's. So it's a beefy boy with a
Ooh, it's
20
that
inch
half
bar.
cc that really gets you.
It's the half cc that you get it. See, you get it. Jason from the Newfoundland, he'll hear this in a half hour. He'll, because he's half hour off. He's in a weird time zone. Look it up. But dude, honestly, this chainsaw, I should have just bought this 2 years ago. Just cried once, spent the money on it. It melted through this wood. It's so, it feels, you think that something more powerful, you know, like you ever upgrade a tool and you feel like, this is like scary. It's so much bigger. Like, oh no, it's because it cuts so much better. It's less scary. It's literally, that's the same concept. So should have just spent the money back then. It would have saved me a lot of back pain over the years. So that's all done. Did landscaping. I've been kind of going around the property still, like doing all these honey-do list things. I worked on a live edge shelf that I have to hang up in the house. You know, it's also super fun when you go, you make a nice shelf. It's all perfect, ready to go. And you're like, let me just put it up against the wall. Let me just see if I have to scribe it. Maybe you have to scribe it almost 1/4 of an inch on one side because the wall is so jacked up. So that's what I found out. So I was going to quickly knock out this little shelf project last weekend. Nope. I got to either spackle the wall or take off 3/16 off this wall.
When was your house built?
20. I mean,
it's
2000.
fairly new.
2000 it was the house was built. But this, I think there used to be a little pony
Framers.
wall off that wall. And then they cut it off and they just kind of exactly. Yeah. And it buckaroo. Basically, we need to either clean up the wall or I got to take off a lot off the shelf, which I don't think I want to do. So I might just have to spackle and paint, but I really don't want to do that this week. Because we'll kind of get into it with one of the questions we got from Max Reed, but I've been just wandering around my house aimlessly looking for projects. I feel like I cannot commit to anything. I don't know what to do with my hands because there's not a baby in it. I have been just awaiting.
Wait, are you
this
pregnant?
thing. I'm
with emotion.
I was showing you. You haven't seen why I gain weight? I've been eating for poo. So I've been wandering around aimlessly. It's so hard to find motivation when you're awaiting something it's like when you have a busy anyone with ADHD out there will relate to this. If you have something happening at 4 p.m., your whole morning's shot. Yep. You're getting nothing done that day because you have a thing at 4.
Because you can't take your mind off it.
Got to be ready.
Exactly. Imagine that, but every day nonstop, and you also don't know when that time is.
Yeah, I get it, man.
So that's been this whole week. The baby was due 2 days ago. She is still here. We actually just found out that her good friend that was due a week after Emma, just her water broke today. So we're behind her, even though but it's her second kid. Whatever. Anyways, as long Emma's feeling good, she's not in pain, she's not uncomfortable.
That's what matters.
That's all that matters. She's good. But I cannot tell you guys, I am so done with work. I need this paternity leave so bad. My brain is all I'm still doing my job to the best of my abilities. I'm answering all the questions, but I am not there 100%.
Remember last week when I predicted that we won't be here this week because Emma was going to give
You
birth?
also did that the week before, Dan.
I'm doing that again this week. We won't be here
Dan,
next week.
I freaking hope so.
Soon. Pretty soon, Dan's gonna get it right.
One of these days.
A broken clock is right at least twice a day.
Yes.
So we kind of called it in a pre-show. We're taking next week off. We haven't really talked about it, but we're gonna take next week off because whether we actually have the kid during the week, we're not gonna be in any shape to do this. Or if we wait till our eviction notice date, which is on Friday, it's at 8 a.m. I'm not recording at night and then having that.
Oh,
8
here
a.m.
we go. You have responsibilities, and you need to tell this kid you had this responsibility way before that kid was around.
I know, but she doesn't listen yet.
Man.
Dan, I'm sorry, Dan. Don't you want a week off? Because I'll record next week, no matter what.
No, he wanted this.
I'll
week
take
off.
2 weeks off.
No,
Is that what you're
No,
suggesting?
I'm saying I will
proposing?
record next week regardless of the baby because Braden's making me feel bad.
Dan manifested 100-mile-an-hour storm yesterday
Right.
because he
I
wanted
almost got my wish.
a citywide power outage. He
Was that
wanted
on your
today also
2024
bad.
bingo list?
No, no. The powers that be were like, "Oh, Dan wants a week off from recording. How's this?
This
Gave me a 100
blows.
per
It's
hour
like
storm.
the deal with the devil. You're like, I want things to get to the point where I can take a break. You'll take a break, all right. But like you'll
Right.
still be behind.
Isn't that what do they call that when
Deal
when
with
you
the
make
devil.
a wish? No. It's got a name. It's like the monkey paw. Have
Oh,
you
the monkey
heard of
ball.
this?
Yeah. Where like
Yeah,
you get what you want, but not in the way you want.
exactly.
It's
Yeah. I think there's
If you-
a subreddit for that.
I
the
think
monkey paw.
You don't
honestly, I think
always-
that's a negative mindset because it makes people not want to wish for better things and not set goals. Just another way that man is keeping you down.
That's why I only wish for negativity towards other people.
Is
I'm not
only
gonna
wish a
wish-
website
Yeah,
you're
I'm not
on?
going to wish for positivity for
the
me.
reverse
'cause I'll never get
psychology
it.
of
Yeah.
genie powers or whatever.
Braden, is only wish like a site you have? Like subscribe. It's the OnlyFans, but only wish. But anyways,
Littlebug Woodworking is unaffiliated with OnlyWish.com.
onlywish.com. So anyways, I'm just trying to keep busy. I'm trying to play video games. I just can't get myself to play them. I just can't focus. We've been watching a lot of Olympics. We got the Peacock
I haven't
Network.
watched any of those. I got the Peacock. I haven't watched.
I gotta
any of
say, I hated having to buy another subscription, but we got Peacock. The Office is there. All the
them.
Harry
Yeah, I know,
Potters are
that's
there.
the only reason I have it.
I know. But they do a really nice like subscription thing for the Olympics. It's part of the subscription. And the best part is they do a multicam. It almost feels like you have like the NFL package, but it's
Ooh,
the
like the
Olympics.
Red Zone.
Yeah, so you can watch like 4 different ones all at once. And just
Olympic
flip
Red
around.
Zone. Now you're talking.
Olympic
yellow,
Red Zone.
The red, yellow, green, and blue zone.
Dude, it's great. And it has the highlights, the
I see
quick
what you did
things.
there, Braden. I get it.
It's nice.
It's a good joke. It was a good one.
Or low lights. So we've been watching a lot of the Olympics. That's it.
I'm
And
gonna check that out. Now that I got power, I can do that.
yeah, Simon Biola's got like great medals and
Ooh,
gymnastics.
don't you dare disrespect
No, Simone
Simone Giles.
Simone Biles.
We want Simone. We want Simone.
You said it wrong, and now I can't say it right.
Yeah.
Also, my favorite thing was one of her like teammates. Snoop Dogg was just chilling with her mom in the stand.
Oh yeah, I actually saw that. I saw a clip of that.
Like
Can
you
imagine,
made
like-
it when you're performing and Snoop Dogg is watching and he wants to chill with your mom. Like that's cool, and also that could
In the
be your-
stands.
you play your cards wrong, that could be your dad. You know?
Where did we make the left turn as a society where Snoop Dogg and Flava Flav are now like America's grandpas?
They're
Like, because
they're-
Flava
they're
Flav
like
sponsored
they're like our
the whole
Olympic
women's-
ambassadors
Well,
now.
I talked about this
Yeah.
last week or 2 weeks ago, where Snoop Dogg made the kids show, the doggy. It's something dog related, and he's the main
Doggy
character.
World?
Doggy World. Thank you.
I just made that up. I don't know. If
But
that's
I think it is. I think that's literally what it is. I don't know, man. You know what? If Snoop Dogg wants to make kids stuff, kids cartoons,
Well,
go for it.
I'm all for it. It's just kind of wild watching like all of these real hard gangster rappers doing like family. I mean, same thing with like Ice Cube doing "Are We There Yet?" like family movies. When did all of these like cop killing gangbangers turn
Because
into
to
like
stay
the most
relevant,
wholesome people we know?
You gotta turn a little
You gotta pivot.
soft.
They
You
gotta pivot.
I mean, listen, his best friend is Martha Stewart. Come on.
Gang,
By the way,
gang.
Martha Stewart is flying out to Paris for 5 days. She's going to
Fun
be doing
fact: Martha Stewart has spent more time in prison than Snoop has.
it. That is true as well. But she's
And
going to be doing
she-
correspondence with him at the Olympics.
That's fantastic.
That's great.
All right, is this still your bench?
This is my bench. The Olympics. Listen, if Colin Jost can go to whatever Tahiti to go watch surfing, which by the way, he got a staph infection in his toe, and that was literally on the news today.
Good, jerk.
I just
Not
wanted
only
to-
does he get to go to Tahiti, but he's married to Scarlett Johansson.
I know we're
What a
all
jerk.
mad at him, and he's
I just
also
wanna
secretly
know-
married to Michael Che.
Oh yeah.
I just want to know why Pete's been playing all these video games and not inviting me.
Oh, these
do
are
I have
like
to do, Pete?
these are like solo video games when you're lonely and you have no friends.
What do I have to do, Pete?
You
know
want
what
to
you
play
have to do.
Civ 6 with me?
I just want to party
Or
up with you.
Factorio? You want to go play some of these like Lonely Boy games?
I'll
Those
play
sound like
any
super
game with
nerdy
you.
games.
They're not nerdy, Dan. Anyways, that's my bench. And speaking of nerdy,
Oh, Black Betty, Ram Lamb.
why don't we get into some questions
Please and thank you.
that make me feel super lonely? All right. So Alex, Type A Furniture Adams, it's a full name.
Speaking
is
of
pretty-
lonely,
Yeah, no, he's not. Stop it. He's mad at Braden, and we're gonna listen to
oh
why.
right. I'm sorry.
Braden. I'm not angry that you're limiting me to 2 questions per episode. I'm just disappointed that you're not making me the Andy Rooney to your 60 minutes, or rather your 150 minutes. But you will be happy to know that my ADHD brain does already have me writing down all of my questions in the Notes app and then recording them ahead of time so that they get out of my brain and they're always ready for the next episode of AWP. And on an unrelated note, if you happen to see a flash of light from behind one of your shrubberies at 3:32 a.m., it's definitely not me.
Counterpoint, that was not a question.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Alex, you get limited to 2 questions a week, and you manage to spend one on not a question.
That sounded like a silencer shot.
It's like going into like an escape room where you get 3 hints, and your first question is like, so we
I
only
wish
get
for
3
more
questions.
hints.
We only get 3 questions. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I want 4 questions. That's
Wait,
my first wish.
wait. Did that question count? Yes.
That's 2. So if you look in the shrubbery later, are you going to hear one of these? Just like
Oh God,
like a silencer shot.
that was dark.
Well,
Yeah,
oh,
why
sorry.
that's so dark?
That's from the 007.
I
sorry,
thought it was
little-
gonna. I thought it was gonna be a camera shutter. That was not
No,
what
no,
I
no.
was expecting.
No, I was thinking like a 007 silencer shot thing.
Oh, I
but
forgot to
didn't-
talk about my 007 experience and my what's on my bench.
Oh,
Oh.
wait. So wait, what was... No, we need to backtrack because obviously that wasn't a question. Dan, you said you had a story to tell us. And
Yeah.
you wouldn't even
Oh my
text
gosh.
us. All right,
I
we're
forgot all
backpedaling. Wait, hang on. I wish I had a reverse of this.
What's on my bench?
I need to get a reverse audio.
Part 2.
Bitch.
Go. So you...
So the storm was coming, right? And Kayla just got her car back from being repaired because of the hail damage we got in June, I think. And they were calling for baseball-sized hail in the initial report of this storm. And she's like, "Oh my God, I am going to rush and take my car to the closest parking garage. Do you think that's a good idea?" And I was like, whatever. You do you. Be careful. Call me and keep in touch. So she goes and she does this. And she goes, it's like 15 minutes away. Braden, she went to Exarban Village. Anyways, the storm's coming and the initial gust of wind went by. And usually when these storms come by, we get a huge burst of wind because not to get all weather nerdy geeky on you, there's a bow. What is that called? A bow arrow? No, a bow echo in front of these storms, where that's where the cold air front comes through and that's where you get all your wind. So that initially came through and I thought we were fine. And the power had went out by that point. So I couldn't get a hold of my wife to know if she was okay. So I told my kids, I was like, I'm going to drive down to the parking lot to see if I can get a hold of your mom. Do you want to come with me? They're like, yes. So I had both my children with me. We're in the parking lot. I finally got a hold of my wife, talking to her. She's fine. And the sirens start going off again, like a second round. And my son is in the back of the truck, in the back seat of the truck. He's just like chirping my ear. Oh my God. He's freaking out. And I'm like, okay. I gotta go. I tell my wife, I gotta go like 3 times. And she finally said, okay. So I take off. And that's when the 100-mile-an-hour winds start picking up while I was down in that parking lot. And I'm hauling ass back to my house. I'm doing like 80 miles an hour on the side streets.
It's a
Because
good thing you have all that power in such a big truck bed. for hauling all
Exactly.
that
Well,
ass.
the key is
Yes.
actually having those small tires. It keeps you really low to the ground.
You son of a bitch.
And it
I
doesn't
will-
do as much lift.
I will
The baby
murder
tires
you.
really, really help.
So we're coming up the hill, and there's a dude stopped right in the middle of the hill because a branch had already fallen off a tree and covered the whole road. And he was just sitting there, like you could clearly tell he had no idea what to do. And when I say he, it was whoever was driving the car. It could have been a her or whatever. So I didn't even stop. Without missing a beat, I flew around him and went up through somebody's yard and just like hightailed it through their yard. And I flew over the hill, didn't stop for the stop sign. I made sure nobody was coming. Flew down the hill. So like if you're most people are not familiar with my house, there's like 2 hills to get to my house. And you got to go through a valley. And at the bottom of the hill, there's this valley. Obviously, that's how valleys work. Stop sign down there. I didn't stop for that stop sign because I know nobody's coming. I flew through that. I'm doing 65 probably. And branches
in a neighborhood,
in a neighborhood. Okay. During 100-mile-an-hour winds, first of all.
probably a school zone.
Did you see one of
Probably.
those signs that said "slow kids"?
Yes.
Play.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
but the slow
Yes.
kid was driving, so it was.
Let
okay.
me finish my story. It makes me sound like I'm James Bond. You guys are
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You're
So there
flying
you
through
were.
the stop sign.
They're shooting at you. Go ahead.
so there are tree branches falling all around us. It felt like we were in the movie Twister,
Okay.
literally. Like
The-
branches are falling in front of the truck, and I'm having to weave around them, and I could see them falling behind me. And I whip into the driveway, threw open the door. I was like, "Get your asses in the house!" And it was insane. And my kids were like, "Oh my god, Dad!" And I made them go in the basement, and then I stayed out on the porch with a bush light and watched the storm.
Get in the house.
You know,
Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna
the-
say,
the-
so were you like Bill Paxton? But like, no, you
I
were more
basically
like
was.
no, you're basically Philip Seymour Hoffman and Twister. Like you you built this up. You made me wait 2 days for this story.
Well, that's a great
Listen,
story,
hey,
isn't it?
Hey, yelling "Get in the house" is a direct quote from 007, The Spy Who Shagged Me. No, I totally get it.
I can't argue with that.
I thought for
made it
certain
correct.
that when you said that the guy was just like stopped in front of the
Bro,
tree branch, that
you
you
have
were
to
just
understand.
you were just gonna truck on over that branch.
You
Chevy
have to
style.
understand. Well, I couldn't because there was a minivan in the way. You have to understand. I really wish I had my dash cam working. I need to get the thing set back up because this would have went super viral. It was literally like a scene out of that movie Twisters. I'm telling you.
And also, there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex behind them, and he
It
could
was
see it in the
on my
rearview
tail.
mirror.
Okay, that's it. That's my story. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it was a letdown, Pete.
No,
Hey,
it's not that.
That was a let up for me.
I'm sorry. I just you kept hyping it up, and I just built it up to be something incredible.
Pete thought
It
there
was
were more
incredible.
guns.
It was
He thought
incredible.
there would be more guns. Like
It-
you,
no, it
did
was
you
cool.
shoot?
You were-
Did you shoot the 100-mile-an-hour wind?
You shot it like dead on, like right.
Yeah,
right.
I leaning out the window shooting it with my Uzi. My
You know what
Glock.
the most badass thing you could do during a storm? Because I've seen this happen live, and I was like, I'll never be as cool as those guys. Is a tree went down on a road, and we were like stuck in a row of cars, and then the car in front of me, they stopped. There was like 3 or 4 cars to the tree that went down. They just got out of the car, calm in the pouring rain, calmly walked over to the back of the truck, just pulled out chainsaws, started on the first pull, which is like I'm immediately wet, right? First pull, and they just walked over and cleared the road in like 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, they probably had that chainsaw that you just bought, so they were like, well, "This is
No,
totally
that's-
not going to take that long."
I remember that's anytime like I think of chainsaws, I'm just like, damn, like this is like the peak of manhood is you could just like get out of a car in a crisis, pull out a chainsaw because you have one.
Just happen to have one.
in
Those-
the back.
Those
And
guys
they clear-
those guys had just bought those chainsaws. They didn't care the
They were on their
environment.
way
They were
home to-
looking
Yeah.
to cut something. Something was getting chainsawed.
The rain dropping was only surpassed by the pennies dropping in all the cars when these guys went out there and started clearing trees. I'll never be that level of cool.
Well, I can't be any higher level of cool in my own children's eyes now. So
No, that's fine. As long as your kids think you're cool, that's all that matters.
my kids
What-
think I'm cool
what's gonna be
and I'm
funny-
a hero. So
What's funny
high
is
point of my life currently.
if we ask Dan's kids, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, it was like super cool. Like he was it was awesome.
I would
It
bring
was
my son
kind
over
of-
here to verify that, but he's
It was
also
kind of a little bit of a
so.
letdown because he was screaming high pitched the entire time he was driving, just the whole time. We couldn't actually hear the tornado sirens.
Or he was playing Angry Birds the whole time. Like,
Oh wait, or he was playing a song.
Yeah.
It
Is that the
could've just
time
been
you
a
got
dream
me
I had.
dizzy in the truck while you're driving? I don't like that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Dan. I don't mean to-
Next question.
No. All right. Dan was 007. He dodged the branches, the evil Nazi branches.
I was more like Bill Paxton. Okay, I was Bill Paxton.
Dan was Lightning McQueen.
You're
Double
Helen
O
Hunt.
Paxton. I'll be Helen Hunt.
Actually, that's pretty bad.
He was Mr. Magoo.
Helen Hunt and Twister. That's peak Helen Hunt. I'll
it
be
was.
Helen Hunt.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
You kids don't know what we're talking about because this is from the 19. That's all I have to say.
1996.
The 1900s.
It was 1996. I did look it up. It's from
Yeah.
the 1900s. Guys, there
Oh
was
my
somebody in the Olympics that was born in 2012. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And
I
next
hate
question.
that.
and
I
next
hate
question-
that, and I hate you for it.
I know, man. It was a skater, a skateboarder. She was on I think the Chinese skate team. She was born in 2012.
They have skateboards in China.
And a question from Alex Adams.
The actual question?
Hey guys, it's Alex at Type A Furniture, and I'm currently having some issues with end grain tear out when flattening end grain. So what I'm using right now is an Amana bit for this. It's about 2.5 inches in diameter, and it has carbide inserts. The 2 carbide inserts that are on the bottom are kind of set at like a low angle, and then it has 2 carbide inserts that are for cutting at the sides that are perpendicular, if you will. And I'm still getting tear out when I think it should be doing fairly well with end grain with that setup. I do have a 3.5 horse router. It's on the lowest speed setting. And on my router sled, I put down a kind of a rubberized mat to put my end grain pieces on. I don't clamp it down per se, because typically that rubberized piece, it's kind of like that rubberized stuff that you put in your cabinets for like dishes and whatnot. So that typically holds it pretty well. So I'm interested in what you guys think I might need to do differently, whether it's something with the workpiece or if I should try a different style of bit.
It's a great question. Braden, would you like to kick it off?
My first question, or like my first diagnostic, would be how new are the carbide tips? Because I have
question.
noticed that I get a lot more tear out as my blades are dulling or as my bits are dulling.
Are they flippable?
Yeah, are they like those? Because you can get like a lot of those ones where it's like 4 sides and you can rotate them, kind of like a helical head joiner blades. So that would be my first question: is how new are they? Because if they're old, that'd be the first thing I would change. Is just get your blade sharp so that you're cutting in optimal settings. I don't know if this would affect it. I don't know what you guys think, but having it sitting on like a rubber mat, there could be some like maybe some deflection, and he's getting tear out when it's like bouncing back from that deflect down, like that downward deflection. So it's going and it's trying to take off like an inconsistent amount, and maybe that's where the tear out's coming from.
Just enough to get tear out? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
those would be the
possible.
2 things that I would check. Because it sounds like the tear out's probably coming around the sides, not the center. That'd be a crazy way to get tear out, is in the center. But
Right.
that's where I would start, is those 2 spots. Try clamping it down and try either sharpening your little carbide tips or flipping them or doing whatever. Dan?
Yeah, speaking of those carbide tips, I would also see if there's a way to make sure that they're aligned properly, because if one is off just a little bit, that could cause a little bit of tear out as well.
Good call.
Yeah, Braden mentioning the rubber mat thing causing a little deflection. I didn't even think of that. That's actually pretty smart. And I hate saying that, but it is smart. He did mention that he has the router on the lowest setting, whereas when you're routing with a larger bit, and I'm assuming this bit is fairly large, you do want to slow it down. However, you didn't say exactly what bit you're using and how big it is diameter wise.
So it was like
So
2.5
maybe-
inch.
Yeah, I thought you said
amount
like
of
he
Did he
said
say 2.5 inch?
I think he said like 2.5. It was something where I was like, holy damn.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. I was gonna say you could try tweaking the speed up a little bit, maybe. You could also try, and maybe it's just a thing that you're gonna have to live with and work around. So you could try putting on like some sacrificial pieces on the edge of your project. When you're talking about this, I'm envisioning that you're trying to flatten like an end grain cutting board or something.
kind of what I'm thinking too.
So if you like double tape on some sacrificial pieces, like pine or something that helps keep the fibers steady, that might help quite a bit. I had another one, but it escapes me right now. So
Almost like adding like a zero clearance insert side piece.
Yes. Zero clearance insert side piece. Okay.
It's my nickname in high school.
And that right there is your maker camp code phrase. Zero clearance insert side piece. Send that to us at awpgiveaway@gmail.com and get entered for a ticket to Maker Camp 2024 this year.
I've got a silver ticket.
I like it. I had a few other things written down, but I actually like that one. Pete, do you want to continue?
So I have a problem with everything he said. That is
Everything I said, or
no. You're perfect. 007.
Is it Alex's voice? Because I felt
No.
that too.
No. I do. I
want you to call me 00 Dunlap from now on. Thank you.
Dunlap 07. No, 00 Dunlap. We'll figure it out in post. All right. So first of all, the first red flag I had was I'm running it slow. I don't think you should be running it slow. You should be maxing that thing out.
No. The bigger the diameter, the slower you need to go.
Yeah, well, yes.
Science.
But the 2 3/4 inch carbide bit Amana flattening thing, it still says to run at minimum 18,000 RPMs.
Oh.
And I've never fully slowed it down. Because here's the thing. You ever try to cut something slow, just even with a knife, bread or something slow versus quick? You're getting a much better, because you're not letting it compress under the pressure. So I think Dan's right. Start ramping up the speed a little bit and testing it out. The other thing is, Braden was absolutely correct. You're going to get some deflection with some kind of rubber mat. This thing needs to be held down. It needs to be tight
hella
up.
sturdy and flat.
Absolutely. Flat surface, wedges up against the sides, holding it all together. And I would also recommend maybe using when you're rounding over or putting a chamfer on a cutting board or some kind of, actually, end grain cutting board. Perfect. You're throwing a chamfer on it. A lot of times what I'll chamfer. Yeah, I'm team SH. What you'll do is you'll start just off the edge and ride your, the cut. And then at the end, you'll actually start backwards and do the reverse direction, where it's walking with you. You got to take extra control. But if you're saying you're using a flattening sled, you shouldn't get any like extra travel, like it wants to pull or whatever. Maybe round over the edges with the grain, at least on the end section, so you're not getting kick out. But I think securing it up with a sacrificial piece, having a sturdier base, and having it secured in some kind of like screw it down to the workbench or something to keep it from moving at all, and you're going to be good. And Braden, actually, on your point of flipping the blades, that was brilliant because I didn't think of that. But even just clean them. They could be just dirty. Like pitch buildup and stuff. So,
True.
Yeah. Good.
Dirty bit.
Good question, girl. Shoot. All right. Speaking of good questions, girl. This is not from Melissa, but from Max Reed.
Hi and hello. It's been a few weeks since I've really posted anything on Instagram, as I've been lacking motivation lately. What do you all do to combat the feeling of staleness with content creation and keep it fun and interesting? Love you long time, Max.
Oh, I'll quickly answer this because I'm currently in the middle of it. I have been, and I've talked about this earlier, for the last month with this impending deadline of baby. My creative juices are completely gone. I can't focus on any shop projects. What I will say is, anytime I need to restart my juices, I need an easy win. What I just
Said
need to
juices
get in,
too many times.
Yeah, not a good
juices-
enough
so the
reason
juice,
to use
I need to restart my juices. My juices. But what I need to do is just have an easy win. I need to get in there and start and finish a project in one night or one weekend max. Max Reed, get it? But you wanna get some easy wins and start working on some projects where you're actually finishing them up and getting to completion. And if you sometimes you need to first restart your creativity before you restart your content game. Like you need a couple of easy wins before you're like, okay, now I'll record it. Because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll like, oh, I'm doing this project, I guess I'll record it, and then I'm like, I don't. It just gets lost in my phone photo stream. I don't actually look at it ever again. I never edit that video. So give yourself a couple of wins, and then maybe you'll feel more creative. Or honestly, leverage the best asset you have, the very nicely smelling Alyssa. Maybe ask her to shoot some of the video, and maybe she can create some of the content. She could start editing or get you a rough draft going. Or try to work as a team. So maybe you're knocking out a project or she's knocking out a project and you work on a creative side of it. Try to leverage each other to help each other out. That's definitely helped out me and Emma when we get stuck in a rut. But you need a win more than Instagram needs a win. So get yourself some creative projects first. Yeah. Dan, what do you think?
There's no I in Max.
Carry the two. Yeah, no, you're correct.
Be a team. Yeah. Bro, I've been there. I live that life. It is hard to stay creative, especially when you're doing what I do and all your orders and things run around Etsy. It feels like you're showing the same thing over and over and over and over, and it just gets so humdrum and boring. Like, I don't know how to make it exciting anymore. So to Pete's point, yeah, you might need a little quick win. That'll help get the juices flowing again. Don't like that term.
The juicy juices.
Yeah, I think that's all I got. I mean, it's hard. You're not the only one. Been there, done that, still living it. Braden?
I think, okay, I want to start this off with what I think is probably a pretty important point to remember. There's too many P's, a lot of alliteration there. Like
Juices.
Pete said, I'm also in that space. And I think that that's important to remember is end of the day, you're not alone. Like not posting content, not being super inspired. Like there's a lot of people that are in exactly the same spot you are. And it can be a lot easier to deal with it when you start to recognize that you're not doing this by yourself and you're not the only person that's just like out of ideas for content. It's happening to all of us. When I get to that point, I kind of take the Pete approach. Like I look for easy wins. I'll recycle some content just to get back in the habit of posting. So like I'll try and either find old pieces that I've made and put, different audio, different whatever. I'll try and find old content that I've shot and cut together something new. And I just path of least resistance. Like I want the easiest thing and I just need to get back in the habit of posting. Cause I'll hit that point where I'll go like a week and I'll have like maybe one post and it's garbage. Speaking of which, I thought that I would be able to just like ride the easy train. And I did one of those like 1 second trending audios that's going on right now. I tried to catch that wave. Like I just wanted another million views.
With the sound that goes ding.
Yeah, I did one of those. It was my worst performing piece of content in like 2 years. It got maybe 300 views.
Yeah, I've seen people do those and get millions of views. Like,
yeah,
why?
I know.
I thought that would be an easy, like 1,000 plays.
Braden, you weren't wearing leggings. I'm sorry.
But that's the thing. I just wasn't in the video. But yeah, I mean, just do something easy. Like just get back into it. I love some of your ideas, Max. The Wayne's World idea. Just go pick
Oh,
some
yeah, that was
movies,
great.
like some movie scenes that people like, and just recreate them. Like, you don't have to remake the wheel. You just gotta get rolling, and the creative stuff.
I mean, if you're going to
it'll
get
kinda
rolling, you
catch
might
up.
want to make a wheel.
You should. Well, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You could use the current iteration of the wheel to get
Okay.
rolling.
Okay.
Like maybe like a stone, like a rolling stone.
Fair point.
Just not a
But-
rolling Morgan.
But yeah, there's a lot of easy ways just to get the juices flowing. Oh,
Got him. Show title: Juices Flowing.
But yeah, there's
No.
just a lot of things you can do. Just don't overthink it. Like that, and that's the worst thing that happens. You start thinking about content and you overthinking it, and then, like Dan said, like, you need to win. Instagram doesn't. Like,
No, Pete said that. I wish I could take that.
Pete said that?
Yeah.
oh, somebody said that, and they may or may not be smart for saying it.
That's the only smart thing I
Pete-
said this week.
Pete's very convinced that he said it,
I was there.
but yeah,
you had to
just-
be there.
just do it. It's the internet.
Just gaslight me into like not thinking it's me.
Dan totally said it. I don't think you.
I mean, I'll
said
take credit
Pete.
for it. It's fine.
Yeah, Double O Dunlap said it.
Let me ask you this then: have you guys ever seen a TikTok or Instagram reel? No one watches Instagram reels; it's all TikToks. But have you ever seen a video and you're like, "I love the editing. I want to copy that."
Oh, all the time.
And it's not always a woodworking video. Sometimes, like I get a lot of people doing like commercial shoots. So like they do the hamburger is stacked on like rubber bands, and then they cut
And
them
then,
all,
like, it
and it just like
falls.
falls. Yeah, or like the girl that there's this girl that makes commercials, and she actually does this professionally now because of TikTok. And it was, I would buy shampoo from you or whatever, and she would do her own version of like a crazy video where usually they have these like $500,000 robotic arms with a camera on it, and she's just doing it in her apartment
With a phone.
with her phone, and she pieces it together. There's a lot of really cool cinematography content out there, or videography content in this case. And sometimes you can just get inspired by something that's just not woodworking related at all. It could be a product commercial, but you do it with something you made, and it'd be really cool. So don't be afraid to look for inspiration in non-woodworking spaces. Actually, I encourage look outside of woodworking spaces, because we're not always the first ones at the beginning of a trend. Let's put it that way.
Well,
This
at
is
the
true.
end of the day, like if none of these ideas work, just get naked on camera. Sex always
Yeah.
sells.
Yeah, leggings. Shut off that
Yeah,
butt.
that's not a bad idea. I was gonna say like put a glue brush down and then let it dry and then peel it off. But
Put a
Absolutely.
glue
The naked
brush
thing is-
down on your naked abs.
Boom.
Boom, viral.
Just let
We
it
want,
leave
we
it on
want
there long
10%
enough
of the
for it to
proceeds
fully
for that.
cure, like overnight.
yeah.
Gotta sleep on your
Oh,
back.
God.
Or if you can't sit still for that long, just find a CPR dummy. That would work, right?
And then cut the face off and wear it.
Oh, oh, that got real dark, real dark.
That was an Office reference.
Wait, dude. You know what? I'm not gonna get into it. Never mind. No, I had a story to tell, but
Tell us about your juices, Pete.
no, I'll tell you about my
No.
creative juices later in the one of the naughty chats that we're in.
Tell them in post.
Tell in the
Great.
Encrustables. But I think that's it for questions.
What's on my questions?
That's all my questions. Well,
guys,
guys,
we're still under 2 hours.
I think we should wrap it. Let's do it. Let's do the outro.
We've got
Let's
45
do it.
more minutes to go. Let's go, boys.
No.
Dan, do you want to remind everyone what the code phrase was?
The code phrase this week was I already forgot. I didn't write it down.
What?
Yeah. What did you say? You said Braden said something.
I don't know.
Hold on.
Write it down.
Rewind to find it.
Zero clearance insert side piece.
There it is.
DCI side piece.
ZCI
Zero
side
clearance
piece.
insert side piece.
Man,
See,
what a
guys.
train wreck this is.
Send that to us in an email at awpgiveaway@gmail.com, and you can get entered to win one of the 2s of tickets we have for this year's Maker Camp in the Catskill Mountains, October 11th through the 14th, 2024.
Heyo.
And if you win, we will provide unlimited firm handshakes.
I'm gonna put
I
a limit.
guess.
I'm gonna
I'll
put
put a limit on it. But you know what? You'll have to find a limit. That's the fun.
Okay.
That's
You've
the fun-
reached your limit.
That's the fun
is
of
weird.
it. Also, make sure to check out CNC with me, the best place to learn all things CNC, find cool projects, and interact with the CNC community. Go check them out. Go sign up today, and they're gonna have another big event coming up in September. That's gonna be huge. September is gonna pimp it for Maketoberfest. Is it September or October? It's September. I'm sorry.
I thought it was Make Timber.
It's Make-tember, not Maketober. I apologize. It's Make-tember.
It's okay. It's these months are it's his third version of months.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's Make-tember-fest. So all of September they're going to be doing a special event just like they did for Christmas in July.
And the link for that will be in the show notes, cncwithme.com.
Yep.
And just to be clear, it's CNC with me, ME, not CNC with P.
Dan or Pete or whoever's talking. Yeah.
Correct.
Me. And then of course, we'll see y'all at Maker Camp. Also, sorry, I keep sneezing.
I was gonna say, is this the silence?
what happened?
No. I'm sorry.
Is this the outro?
I don't know where I just started sneezing. Dan, take us out of here.
A big shout out to all of our patrons that help us keep this ship afloat. If you want to join us over there, you can go to patreon.com/anotherwoodshop-podcast. I think that's everything. Braden, you have
Leave
anything
a
else to add?
5-star review. Leave a 5-star review. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yes, leave a 5-star review
All right.
on Apple Podcast.
Braden, do you have
On
anything
Apple
you wanna add?
Podcast, Yelp. Are we on Yelp? IMDb.
We are on
We
Yelp.
are on
Actually
IMDb.
Yelp.
We're on IMDb,
Yelp.
on Yelp. We are not on Rotten Tomatoes, Braden.
Yet.
I think we have to be a movie.
All right. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hit him with the remix.
Bye.
Bye.